Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Tea Time Tuesday. Come on in and join me. Good morning. Good morning, Instagram. I am kind of going live everywhere today since I am back. So, good morning, LinkedIn, YouTube, wherever you are joining me. I'm so glad you're here. As always, come in, let me know what you're drinking, tea, coffee, water, or whatever your beverage of choice is. Let me know. Let me give it a couple minutes. It has been some time. Good morning. Okay, I'm seeing some of you here. I'm looking on different screens here, so we're going to make this work. Good morning. Good morning. All right. Make sure I can see everyone. And I can see your comments. There we go. Good morning, Nancy, Daniel, Nichelle, Tamika. Good morning. Talea, good morning. I can see coffee, cucumber, and mint water. I am seeing, yes, all the drinks. I am here. As you can see, I'm not quite back, but I am still out. I'm out of town, so I'm in a hotel room going live with you guys. But I am just really excited to be here with you, and I didn't want to push it back another week because it's been some time, and a lot is going on, as you may have seen. And I really felt it was time to have this conversation, and so I'm here, in the room. I have my tea. I travel with my tea here, so we're still good to go. All right. I see. I'm looking at Instagram here. Hi, Tierra. Hi, Dan. Great to see everyone on. Okay, so yes. Again, I've been gone for the month of May, and I saw many of you in the community, in the Facebook community, you were watching the replay. So good for you. I'm so glad that you did that, and that you stayed active. And whether it was the first time you watching those replays or you were allowing yourself to, okay, I need to soak it all in again. Remember, repetition is the key to mastery, which is why I encourage you guys to catch the replay while I was gone. So wonderful. And if you are watching the replay now, thank you. I'm so glad you're here. And I look forward to seeing your comments. For those who don't know me, my name is Marcella Mullen Williams. I, along with my brother Mark, are the co-founders of Legacy Builder Group, where we help families just really achieve financial certainty and create impactful multi-generation legacy wealth. So that's what we're about, and that's what we're here to do. So I'm just gonna let's just jump right into it. Again, I'm grateful to be back alive. Many of you know I was gone for the month of May, and really it started off. It was really about just taking the time to be with my daughter and my son-in-law. They just had a baby. You guys have heard me talk about that many times. My first grandchild was born, so I took the month of May off, moved in with them, and just helped them get acclimated to this new position of parenthood. During that time, things elevated and things changed with my family. The family dynamics changed, and I am just grateful for those who have known throughout that time, who've been there, who sending prayers, support, food, all the type of things that were needed as we were navigating so many major changes within that 1 month. So during that time, a tumor was discovered in my mom's brain. And in less than a week, she had brain surgery and has not awakened since. Since the surgery, she hasn't waken up. And she's not in a coma, but she's in a non-responsive, unconscious state. So It's been 3 weeks since the surgery and that she's been in that state. So you can imagine it's been a challenging time for my family. So that's why, again, I thank you so much for your prayers. I thank you for the prayers and the kind words and well wishes that even I've seen now in the comments. Thank you so much. And from the time I posted the information yesterday, because I'm sharing this for those who have not seen the e-blast that went out, our email, and the post that I put out yesterday about what we are going to be talking about today. So that's what's that's what I'm here to talk about. Just kind of share what's been going on and how much it really touches on what we've been talking about in this group. And I think one of the things I put in the post was that I wouldn't be much of a coach if I didn't experience these things. I mean, you're really not going to get through this life without experiencing some major situation, challenge. And as a coach, I'm no different. So the only difference with me is that I want to be able to use my experiences to help others, to serve others. That is my purpose. My purpose for money is to serve. So that is what I'm here to do. And in the past, we've talked about important topics. We've talked about preparedness. We talk about operating from a posture of prevention. All of these important topics is why I had to replay what probably came up from many of you who saw that and who even recall the conversation we've had in the past. And as legacy builders, particularly our legacy building community, we don't shy away from uncomfortable topics like these. We don't shy away, we don't avoid uncomfortable topics. Rather, we confront them. We confront them because we understand the tough conversations about life and death are essential in order to not just lead and leave an impactful legacy and a powerful multi-generation legacy wealth. So we're talking about these type of conversations are needed in order to lead and leave an impactful legacy and ensure legacy wealth. All right. It's about facing uncertainty with certainty. And if you are a first generation high income earner in your family, you are that first generation legacy builder, legacy leader, it is more than likely means that you did not grow up in an environment where you had these types of conversations. You probably didn't talk about the type of planning that's needed for the life you want to live and what you want to leave behind after you're gone. And in the email and the post that went out, I shared an image of my family during our last family meeting in March. And as a first generation legacy builder, first generation high income earner, you probably did not have family meetings. That was not something that's something that you're probably used to. But I know for Mark and one of our missions is to normalize this type of behavior, normalize this type of conversation, because they're crucial. They're so important. So that's what I want to touch on our brief time together. It doesn't, just because you didn't grow up experiencing this, and let me know. And I've seen the comments saying, thank you everyone for these beautiful comments and your thoughts about my mom and her family. Yeah, thank you so much, Nadia. Thank you so much. So I just, let me know in the comments if you are familiar with the kind of conversations you had growing up. If you have family meetings, if you talked about family planning, whether it's for life and death. What if you did not, if you are that first generation legacy builder, it does mean that you cannot lead the charge to shift everything. I want to encourage each of you who are first generation legacy builders to understand that you are now in a position, whether you work with us, work with Mark and I, whether you're in this community, our goal and what we provide for you is the information to lead the charge, to change, and to shift the trajectory of your family legacy. And this is what it means. This is what we mean by legacy leadership. This situation that happened to our family, what went on with my mom, did not catch us completely off guard. Obviously, it was a shock. The news was a shock. But as far as preparation, it did not catch us completely off guard because we were prepared in two ways. And this is what I want you to really get from this conversation, for you to take action, to move forward in. We were prepared in two ways. First, we communicated about what was certain. We communicated about the certain. And two, we prepared for both the certain and the uncertain. And so in those two areas, so I'm going to kind of just break down quickly how that worked for us and how it can work for you. And I'm seeing, I'm seeing a lot of people, no, you do not have these conversations. So I am talking to you. This is for you to really hold on to and take action with, execute. First, is that we communicated about the certain. And I look at life this way, that there are two things that are certain. There's life and there's death. They're both certain. You know you were born, you're here because someone gave you life. God gave you life. You are here for that reason. So that is certain. And you know that death is certain because no one's getting out of here alive. So these are the two things that are certain. Everything in between is uncertain. So we communicated about death. You know, when it comes to my family, we all know our burial plans. We know what we want. As a matter of fact, everyone in our family unit no one wants to be buried. Everyone wants to be cremated. So we have that, and then or cremated and various other ways, very unusual things that we want done. But that has all been communicated. We laugh about it, but we're serious. We know what we want, and we made the plans. We had the conversations about that. We've had conversations about how our homegoing service would be, the interesting things that we want done during and around those events. These are the real life conversations that we have to be comfortable with in order to have those conversations. Is it unusual to have those conversations? Yes. But again, I'm talking to people who are committed about leaving an intentional legacy. And that's what we're talking about today. So first, you communicate about the certain. And like I said, none of us are getting out of here alive. So we have to talk about those things. Talk about the various events in life that can happen. The things that you are certain about, that are very possible. Have those conversations about how they can go and how you want them done. And I'll touch a little bit on that again, but and then the second part I talked about was we plan for both the certain and the uncertain. And this showed up so heavily in what's going on with my family right now, because weeks prior to discovering the tumor, Mark and I helped my parents finalize specific estate planning documents that are so crucial in case of a situation just like what we're going through, having no clue that this would enter our lives. This would be what we're going through right now. And again, I talked about life and death, but then there's this place where It's the unknown. The, oh, well, what if you are in a coma? What if you are unconscious? What if you are incapacitated? And that happened to be where we are. That's not a conversation our family necessarily had, but we prepared for it. Now, we did have the conversation of, oh, well, we're not going to be on tubes. Like, you pull that plug. I don't want to be in a state where I don't want to live in a vegetative state. And yes, but those were words. Unfortunately, when it comes to situations like those, words aren't enough. You have to have that in writing. You have to have the documents that can hold up. And those documents are in place. And because of that, and it allowed my father to navigate the situation a lot easier. It allowed for an important transaction that we were in the middle of when it had to do with my parents' trust, um, to continue, that we don't have to stop because my father has power of attorney. And we're able to move forward with that, even though my mother is not able to sign off on it. Without that, we would have been stuck in limbo because he would not have been able to move forward, until there's only two situations. She had to be fully conscious or she had to pass. But that in between place, if this document was not put in place, my dad would be stuck in a situation. So I'm so grateful for moving forward with that. And that really had a lot to do with listening, allowing myself to be in a place of tapping into my intuition and feeling a sense of urgency that this needs to get done now. And my parents understood it, and they complied, and they did what needed to get done. And that's not everyone's situation. I get that. I understand that communication between family members are challenging. Mark and I have seen horror stories, and we've shared this before. We understand that it's not easy to just pick up and suddenly be able to, hey, let's just have a family meeting. What I want you to understand is that you are now in a position, if you identify as a legacy builder and you have taken up the position as a legacy leader, you are in the position to shift and start the conversations. You are in the position to make the plans. You are in the position to change the trajectory of the family legacy that you will lead and leave. It is about facing the uncertainty of when, and when you're able to do that, it will lead you to the certainty of what. When you are able to tap in, instead of being in a place of denial, being in a place of, I don't want to face any of this right now. I don't want to talk about this right now. But confronting it, that's facing uncertainty. And when you can do that, that's from that place. You can do it with confidence by creating certainty within those parameters. It's possible. And life shows up in so many just unimaginable ways for all of us. So that's why it's important, because we don't always think about this. Our brain doesn't know how to process all of the multiple scenarios that can happen for us. So all that we can do is plan for the various scenarios that we can't even think of. And that's what Mark and I are here to help you do, help you and your family do. So I'm going to pause because I know I said a lot, and I want to just hear from each of you, hear from those in the comments. We did not, Francesca, no family meetings. I have to implement on my end, lead the charge and make the shift with this guidance. Yes, Francesca, that is so good. Nancy, how preparing for certainty? I said, yes. Tamika, we did have a family meeting in the 80s and the 90s. Okay, wonderful. Your dad and sister, we well prepared, many open financial conversations, no secrets. There we go, Tamika. Exactly. Open financial conversations, no secrets. Know where the documents are, right, Nancy? I know, and Rhonda, I think it was Nancy and Rhonda who really learned that through these teachings. Know where the documents are, know where the paperwork is. If you're struggling to have conversations with your family, maybe just start with, well, where do you keep the documents? Especially those with parents, those who are sandwich generation like me, where you have parents, aging parents, younger kids, you're in the middle navigating the multiple generations. Know where the documents are, have the conversations. Do not allow yourself to hide and place yourself in a state of denial where you cannot face and confront. You'll be setting yourself up, setting your family up for so much more discourse, pain, and just tragedy layered with more tragedy. So that's what this conversation is about today. I'm Stacy, a new legacy builder. I'm now charged to have this done. However, the conversations are difficult with the children. They are. Start off with baby steps. And if you haven't done so already, I encourage you to, if you're in the group, you have the tool in there that has the conversations that you can start having with your family, the simple conversations. We don't have to start with the hard conversations, baby steps. So download our legacy checklist if you have not already. It's inside of the group. You'll see with the documents. And then you can learn how to begin with this conversation and then move on. There are 5 areas covered that every family should be talking about in that checklist. So if you haven't already downloaded, jump into our Facebook group, the Legacy Builder Group for First Generation Millionaires, if you're not there, and download that checklist. Dr. Ronelli says, I need to set up a meeting with you guys and my mom. Thanks for sharing your truth. Thank you. Yes, and of course, we'll definitely be talking, Dr. Ronelli, about that. If you have any questions, reach out to us. I'm going to come to an end now because I'm going longer than I anticipated, but I love being here with each of you. And this conversation is too important to rush. If you have any questions, reach out to myself, send me an inbox message. Let's begin having the conversation together. Start baby steps and build from there. Thank you for joining me for another Tea Time Tuesday. And remember to operate with intention as you develop behavior that will build your legacy. Thank you, everyone. Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube. Thank you for joining me. And I will see you next Tuesday for Tea Time. Talk to you then.